What's up, my know-it-alls? It's time for a whole new adventure as we get into Rick and Morty Season 7. Now, Mr. Know-it-all, you've never reviewed Rick and Morty before. No, I haven't, but that's because there wasn't anything monumental to talk about when it came to the show. It was fun, everybody understood what it was, but now, we got some stuff to talk about. So, stick around because it's about to go down.
Play something. Somebody play something.
Hey everybody, do me a favor before we get into this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps us in the algorithm, lets everybody know that you want to go to the know-it-all nation. The more you share the videos, the bigger our community grows, the more opportunities that we have here to bring you all the fun and excitement that you love to see from us of all the different types of reviews. All that being said, here we go. Why have I not talked about Rick and Morty before? Well, first off, I'm always in that effort to try to keep the family, this channel very family friendly, but at the same time, I realize with the Fall of the House of Usher review that we did, that it's possible to do reviews where we are sort of generalized enough, talk about the stories enough, and also clearly it's in the zeitgeist, clearly it's in the social consciousness, and I think it's really silly for us to try to act like it's not. Okay, that plus I like it. And what is this entire channel about? It's about yours truly and what I like. One of the things that I love about this series is it's always been very tongue-in-cheek, and of course it's got its roots in Back to the Future, so I'm not gonna cover any ground that hasn't already been covered. Let's talk about the new episode. Specifically though, you can't help but discuss some of the major things that happened over the last year.
Is a prison cell awaiting Justin Roiland?
It recently came to light that Justin Roiland has been secretly battling domestic battery and false imprisonment charges.
That I guess, is that what happened? I mean, there's a lot that happened. I mean, you want to get into is this therapy? You want me to really go into it?
Okay, all of which took the opportunity to talk about the drama that happened. I'm not gonna rehash that. There's plenty of videos. I literally just showed you several of them who will be able to help kind of us understand what had happened or didn't happen. So you pick your side if you want. I personally don't care. What I do care about is that we were introduced to the brand new voice talent that replaced Justin Roiland as the voices of Rick Sanchez and Morty Smith.
The family wants you upstairs to deal with Mr. Poopy Butthole.
It's finally time, huh? Well, lucky for you guys, I know how to make someone leave.
Two voice actors replacing one, and I'm okay with that. Give everybody something to focus on. And so what you got was Ian Cordani is going to be the person replacing Justin Roiland for Rick Sanchez. Also, the voice talent of Harry Belden is replacing Justin Roiland as the voice talent for Morty Smith. One of the things that Baby Know-It-All pointed out last night was it was really interesting. She tracked them down so after it aired on both coasts, they updated IMDb and whatnot, and you were able to see who the talent was and go, oh, okay, cool. What I noticed was these extraordinarily humble people, these are nobodies. By that I mean, they're not big time celebrity people, and that's awesome. So you got brand new folks, not brand new, because if you actually look at, they do have some credits under their names, but their Instagrams had like 170 people or 60 people or whatever. It was very low numbers, and now these guys are gonna blow up because they have now replaced two of the most, they are now voicing rather two of the most iconic characters in current pop culture. And I don't know about you, but it felt like a breath of fresh air. So, one of the things that I love is they have, for many seasons, well, 6 already, they have really been struggling with this idea of what does it mean to get back to season 1 Rick and Morty, and at the risk of starting a fight and argument, this episode did that. One of the things that it did was, having come from film and television, I know the struggle that it is to try to get people on board and get buy-in from your audience on several levels. So one of the things they had to do was make sure that the audience bought into the new voices. They showed us the trailer finally a week or two ago, some time ago rather, and it was, and I didn't really hear a huge difference. They had music and things happening and it was quick and you're like, all right, whatever. A lot of the fan base went nuts over it, and you can check the comment section yourself for all the various things that people had to say about it. But for me, this was a return to season 1 style. It was a standalone adventure, it was fun, it had multiple dimensions, it had all kinds of stuff, but more importantly, Dan Harmon and the folks over there at Adult Swim did one of the smartest decisions they could have ever made. And that is they brought the entire other cast of characters who normally surround Rick Sanchez and whatnot, and they made you buy in. Because immediately, the story, let me get into it. So the story basically in the short version is Poopy Butthole has been staying with the Smiths. He's overstayed his welcome. They want to get rid of him. They get Rick to try to help him through some sort of intervention, though Rick is vehemently against it and is like, no, this is not an intervention.
Dad, you can't keep putting this off. You're doing an intervention with us.
Nope.
Then we're sticking Poopy Butthole downstairs with you.
What is this? Is this an intervention of me not intervening?
So what does Rick do? He goes and gets Poopy Butthole's friends. He gets Squanchy. He gets Bird Person. He gets Gearhead. He gets the neighbor Gene. And ultimately, they go on a cross-dimensional adventure. Poopy Butthole makes it sound like it's his birthday, but that's just a way of him trying to show how horrible they are as friends because they don't actually know it's not his birthday. It's this wonderful encounter, and ultimately they end up running into Hugh Jackman through Gene, who apparently is friends with Hugh Jackman, going on sort of a bender. Hugh Jackman tells them, we're a team, we're a group, we're all gonna work together. And what do? They go to try to get Poopy Butthole back together with his ex-wife. Poopy Butthole sent the Predator to track down his wife because the Predator can stay invisible, and ultimately his wife fell in love with the Predator. Very uncomfortable, very awkward, but at the end of the day, they worked very hard to sort of build this narrative. And so when you get to it, it ultimately becomes about Poopy Butthole feeling like nobody really cared too much about him. Rick didn't really want to have to... I like this version of Rick, and I feel like this whole thing felt like they brought us a brand new chapter. And I feel like this is actually this is the first episode of the beginning, which is one of the reasons why I was like, when I watch this, I'm sitting here going, I need to do this show. I need to review this show because this is not the last season. I know a lot of people have been like, well, I feel this and that and the other. I feel like having the whole situation with Justin Roiland swept away and having the new guys and having the new direction, I genuinely feel like this is a rebirth, and that's what they've done. And I genuinely feel like this is an excellent place for them to start from and move forward from. There you go, now you know, and if knowing's half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. What's the know-it-all index for this episode? For me, it was an 8.5.
Well, here I go pilling again.
There you go. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a good start. I can't wait to see where they're going. People who want to get hung up on the voices, look, let's be real. For maybe the cold open, I heard a little bit of it, but the minute he's surrounded by all these voices we know, and they didn't skip anybody. You hear from Beth, Jerry, Summer, you hear from obviously Morty and whatnot. You hear everyone's voices, plus all the other roster of characters they brought in who are Rick's friends, and what you end up with is you're so invested in the story and to what's happening and who's talking and what... I remember midway through, I was like, I see what they did here. They just Jedi mind tricked everyone. I was in, and you will be too. So comment below. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Did you like it? If you're just gonna be a hardcore, I heard the difference. Talk me through it, man. Let's talk. Nobody has to fight. We're all friends here. We all love stuff. Let's love it together. All right, guys. I'll talk to you very, very soon. I cannot wait to see what the next dimension has to offer. But never forget, everyone loves a know-it-all.